We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
For the hope, you gotta have faith.
What's going down, everybody? What is going down, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Brookshire, yours truly, and we are so real talking. I mean, OM Jizzle, we are so real talking with you in his house. And of course, like we always do, I have my beautiful co-host, Miss China Marie.
Hello.
How are you, darling? How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. You look so good. I know I was telling you that she was beautiful when you walked into the door. You know what I'm saying? But I just love looking over there at you, looking all radiant and all that good stuff.
Thank you.
How was your weekend?
Really good, actually.
Was it?
Yes.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing whenever you have a beautiful weekend. So everybody, like we always do in this house right here on Real Talk with Brookshire, we got some special guests up in here. But before we get into the special guests, and I tell each and every single one of you that I love you. I know y'all hear me say this to you all of the time, but it is so true, because without you tuning in every single week, it wouldn't be no us. I mean, without you being here and taking in what we have to say, there would not be a me. Well, I mean, I might be here, but I might not be here like this. You feel me? So without any further ado, we got some special guests in the house. We got a good friend of mine that I've been knowing for quite some time now. I'm telling you, he has definitely been an influence in my life. He is a mover, he's a shaker, he's a businessman, he's conquered the business world. And, you know, like, not everybody can do this from the business world and then step over into the creative world and actually succeed, thrive, and actually shine and illuminate. We got my good friend, my main man, fashion designer, singer, businessman. We got Octavius Terry in the house. What's going down, man?
Nothing, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, thanks for coming. I know we've been working some things out, man. It's just amazing how the universe
absolutely
works.
Absolutely.
You know, the universe is an amazing thing, man. You think you're meeting for one reason, and then you start weaving in life maneuvers and goes on, and then here we are
on the West Coast.
On the West Coast. All of us sitting here on the West Coast from the East Coast.
Right.
Damn. Yes. So, man, we got not having a whole lot of time, because we got definitely some other special guests that's on the show we want to bring in as well. But we want to just get straight into it, because I have to know, where does your drive come from? Tell me how this all started for you. Your drive. Where does this come from?
I think I'm super competitive.
Right.
As you know, one of my I say I'm on my fourth life right now.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I believe that. But why do you say that?
Well, I say because I'm extremely competitive in whatever I do, and I think that came from years and years ago. I was actually a Olympic hopeful, so I've been on 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So with that in mind, I always knew how to goal set and everything like that. And I think that the drive to be competitive was always, one of the main things that I did. So whatever I did, I would set the goals early, and knew, just like track, you had to practice every day, and you might not see the results tomorrow.
Right.
And you train for 10 months out of the year for one shot
at being
on the team. I think they carried over into everything that I do. I know that every day is a struggle, and you make mistakes, and you learn from those mistakes.
Right.
So, every mistake, some people give up when they get to a wall and they can't really get over it. But I've learned to just kind of push back through that. And that comes from my father, and it comes from, being a professional athlete. Okay,
so now you were Olympic hopeful in what sport?
In the 400-meter hurdles.
Oh, wow, so you're fast.
I guess you could say that.
Now, are you gunshot fast? Are you running from a dog fast, or you just fast? Like
I was fast. I wouldn't say that now.
Okay. You said you just slow down a little bit. You city limits these days. Instead of the highway. I can definitely understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I know the transition. Of course. Now, where are you from?
I'm actually from Atlanta. Born and raised.
Yeah. ATL, baby. Yeah, I did that day. I did that dance. Right. ATL, I did that dance. Yeah. So now you come out here to LA.
Mm-hmm.
You were in corporate America.
Yeah.
Now, what role did you play in corporate America?
Actually, I know you can't tell by the tattoos, but
no, you got tattoos?
No,
I didn't even notice.
Believe it or not, I spent 11 years as like one of Wachovia, Wells Fargo and Wachovia at the time, as one of their only African American vice presidents for wealth management.
So, you black?
Yeah.
I thought I saw little Tiger Woods going.
No.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I spent 11 years doing that, and as a financial planner, I did wealth management for athletes and entertainers.
Wow.
Which one of my best friends, which also is going to be, I don't want to spoil it, going to be on the show, but I actually managed him when I came out to LA and a couple of other athletes and entertainers, because in my life as an athlete, I knew that a lot of athletes spend their money really fast.
Yes, they do.
And I wanted to be a part of being able to help them maneuver through that kind of system of using, planning and doing money the right way. And 11 years I spent getting up every morning, putting on a tie,
right,
with the tattoos and everything like that. 11 years.
11 years. Yeah. Okay, so now you do this for 11 years. Mm-hmm. Now, was this other? Because I mean, you deal with music.
Right.
Now you're a producer and a songwriter. What roles do you play in the music industry?
Singer-songwriter. I play saxophone, guitar.
So you're
piano.
a musician.
Yeah.
And singer-songwriter, also a performer. And then, of course, you're in the fashion.
Yeah, and that's how that came along. The fashion thing came because, I'm 6'3", and I never could find anything that I really liked to wear on stage. Yeah.
I got thick soles. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. But I spent all that time trying to find something that I can wear on stage, and, I wanted to be known for the music, which I haven't gotten away from that, but I would walk away from the shows, and people could tell you that, like, if everybody say, "Where'd you get that jacket?" And I would say, "I made it." Oh. And so from there, that brainchild moved into, which I consider now my calling, because I think that I consider fashion just an extension of me being an artist when I was like 2 or 3 when I was drawing, and I consider fashion to be a 3D aspect of that. And now, not only do I get to work with some of the musicians that I've always wanted to be a part of as a singer. Right. Now I'm, somewhat kind of outfitting them for shows and everything like that. So I'm still connected some way.
That's interesting. Really cool. Interesting. So now let me ask you this, because it ain't easy, never, for somebody to transition from that paycheck into the unknown world.
Who you telling?
Now, was it a process to where you planned and you saved a lot of money, so you was like, let me got a year's a cushion together before you decided to jump in? Or was it one of those things to where, because it's your calling, life just kind of pushed you in and you said, how did that work for you?
Yeah, I think most people who would consider themselves successful will always say that I got lucky with something, but I think that there's always a plan. There's always something happening that is going to drive you into your destiny. Because if you told me like 10 years ago that I would be living in LA, this, I would have said no. I'm going to stay in Atlanta. I'm a vice president, that kind of thing.
Right.
But the way the universe kind of worked, I always knew that I wanted to be. I've always been a creative person, but I've been able to be successful and balanced in the both.
Right.
And when I came out here with Wachovia, Wells Fargo bought Wachovia. My boss knew that I was a creative person. He said, let's just consider this your startup package. I know you want to do music and fashion, so go ahead. And like I said, 11 years, I had a retirement, I had a severance package.
Right.
And so I didn't look back 3 years ago, and I think it was the best thing I ever did. Like, I wake up every day. It's not the same paycheck,
right?
But I think it's more fulfilling when you're doing something that you love to do. And the gratification comes when you have somebody validate, say, "Oh, that was fantastic," and that kind of thing.
Right, so, right now. So you say 11 years in that industry, and so now I know that you've been in the game for quite some time. Because you look amazingly. Can I ask, what do you do on your skin? I don't see.
Well, I'm not gonna say my age.
We ain't gonna say your age. See, I ain't say nothing about age. I just said you had great skin, no wrinkles. It's all smooth. I mean, do you Botox? I'm joking. Right, and fluid, like. So in this industry, because we know it's so full of stress, especially when you step out, corporate world already has its challenges and its situations, and then you come over to the artistry, and everybody goes to that phase. Did you have to go through a starving artist phase?
I feel like I'm still in that, and I think that, like you said, most people who are really successful are still feeling like tomorrow will be my last day doing this thing. But I think that because I enjoy and I love what I do now, I don't necessarily look at the paycheck. I love what I do, and it's one of those old adages: if you build it, they will come.
Right.
And so I just feel like I'm constantly building, and then for some reason, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, because somehow there's always a way that the car gets paid or the house gets get to
Yes.
that kind of thing.
Yes,
So,
yes.
I think that's just, you just have to love what you do.
Love what you do. How do you stay grounded in the chaos?
I'm from Atlanta. I've got a lot of family in Atlanta, and here they keep me grounded.
They keep you grounded.
Yeah,
I can definitely understand that. Now, in this business, we always hear different definitions for many words. What would be your definition for success for you?
Success for me. That's a good question. I would say, just validation, just from someone saying, I loved what you did. I love what you did on this person, or I loved my jacket enough to where, I might see it on the red carpet or something like that. That to me is success, to be able to see, visually see my work.
Okay. So now you go from this type of paycheck to the artist, which there's a phase that you are transitioning. Now, what is the best thing that you notice with having money versus not having as much as you used to? How has that, not even the best, but what was that transition for you like?
Well, you know what? I think that, like I said, everything happens for a reason. I went to Georgia Tech.
Right.
I got a business management degree from Georgia Tech in
Right.
Atlanta, Georgia. And I spent 11 years as a planner. So I actually had a license for investments and for financial planning, that kind of thing. And so I think that's the left side and the right brains working together. I know as an artist, I've been fortunate enough to have that side, so I know that as a creative person, I still have to plan it out. Like any kind of money I'm getting, I have to plan for a rainy day. I have to, whatever I get, I have to invest it some way. And when I say invest, it's not like necessarily investing in stocks or anything like that. I think it's investing in yourself. So when you get the money, I'm either doing something for somebody else that we can collaborate with something creative and let that keep growing and that kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can definitely dig that.
Yeah.
So in your purpose, because you say you feel like you are in your calling now,
Yes.
which is in line with your purpose.
Mhm.
Now, this is something as far as when you say you're in your calling, what position is it? All of it? Is it everything in the package? Or is it just one specific? Are you talking about just the fashion? Are you talking about the music? Are you talking about the freedom? What's in your calling right now when we say your calling?
Well, again, I think that goes back to another piece, and I think this goes together, like your calling and what you consider success. For me, my calling and success meets when, because I think the ultimate goal, even as I made really good money as a banker,
Right.
But I think the ultimate thing is for someone is to have validation and also to have access. You want to be able to do all the things you want to do.
Yes.
You want to be able to buy the things you want to do.
That is true.
And not to want for a lot, but you don't have to have the best things. But if I want to do something, nice, and I can do it, and I want to be able to get in somewhere, like if somebody's having something, then they'll call or something like say come in without having to go through a lot of stuff.
Right.
So that to me
great.
is my purpose and success and that kind of thing. I think they kind of go hand in hand.
Okay, I can definitely dig that hand in hand. How do you educate yourself now? How do you stay informed? How do you stay motivated?
Well, an interesting story. Like I said, this is my third or fourth life. As
Right.
I was a professional athlete that went into banking, that went into, and I've always been doing music. But for all those people who think they're too old to still get educated, I am just a recent graduate, like a year ago from
Congratulations!
Which is the Fashion Institute of Design Management.
Right.
And I got a 2-year fashion design degree from there. And then, like I said, when you're living in your purpose, I went there and, afraid of like leaving corporate America and then having to get like a student loan to go back to school.
Right.
But I am now, I'm the Bob Mackey recipient of a full scholarship to do what's called the FITM Debut Program.
Wow.
Which they pick 10 designers during that year that you're in school to invest in them to come back and do a full runway show in March of this year. So since July, I've been working on my first collection under my name that will be a collaboration with FITM and myself, and it's like a dream come true. So it's like a $1 million project that they do, and they get all the
That is awesome.
So that's what I'm working on now.
That's awesome. So you've been out here for lives, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like you like a cat. You feel me? Like you ain't gonna never go nowhere.
Right.
So, what do you feel it takes to make it in this life or industry?
Yes. One, you gotta have a thick skin.
Right.
Really, really thick skin. because everybody's not going to like what you do, whether you're a musician, whether you're a poet, whether you're a designer.
Right.
But you have a thick skin, and you have to have I call it a warm, fuzzy gut feeling. You have to have a gut feeling that, if anybody tells you you're not doing something right, when you know that it's right and nobody else can tell you that because you have that, everybody has that gut. I think that you have to go with that. You can't second guess yourself on anything,
right?
Because people are wanting you for your opinion. It might not be the opinion everybody wants at the time, but you have to stick with that. And I think the last thing, and I learned that from track, is that you've got to just kind of hang in there. Like, every day is not going to be a good day. You're going to come up to roadblocks and everything like that. But you have to be willing to accept that anything that you thought was a mistake is not a mistake, but a learning lesson.
That's a good point.
That's what I've learned.
That's a very, very good point. Is there a piece of advice that you received that maybe at a younger age or that has really stuck to you that might have been I know there's all kind of advice, stay strong and don't give up, but is there something that was uniquely given to you that has really held on to the meat of your bones that has helped you through the hard times? A piece of advice.
And what I would say that piece of advice, and it comes from, like, my father is still alive, and everybody, my mom's still alive, and they've been big supporters of me. But I think one of the people that has really influenced me the most, you're getting ready to have him on your show, my best friend Jamal, is the one that actually pushed me into saying, you need to just go back to school, whatever you need to do, just follow your dream, because he's a living example of somebody that has been extremely successful just by doing what he loved to do. And as a banker, I was envious of everybody that was doing what they really did, because everybody thought I should be a banker because I was good at it.
Right. Yeah.
But my dream was always creative. And it's like one of those things when you're ready to build a building, a new building, sometimes you have to tear it down.
Yes.
And I consider myself coming out of corporate America, tearing it down to build a bigger and better building. And I think his advice was just, you really have to follow your dream. So it was for him.
I find that so interesting. I mean, I really, really do, because, I mean, again, I take my hat off to you personally, because not everyone can make that transition, especially as life goes on and you're getting older and you have more responsibilities, more situations that you have to keep in mind to be able to say, you know what? I'm just going to go off and do my dream. People looking like, you going to do what?
Right.
You mean you're going to do it with a job, right? Like, they're trying to figure out, like, what's going on. So what do you feel like your legacy is going to be for lives? At this point, what do you see your legacy to be?
Well, I think that, I'm still a work in progress.
Right.
Like I said, I won't tell my age, but I think I'm a work in progress. But I think that all the things that I've been able to do is what actually makes me, what has made me who I am as a designer. I still love music. My clothing is highly influenced by musicians and athletes and everything like that. And then my banking mind still allows me to be frugal with my design and everything like that. So they all work together. So I think that, I one day I'm going to get back on the stage as a singer. Okay. But, my goal would be to have, I'll be wearing my own stuff while I'm singing, but also maybe doing a fashion show, and then something recent, we'll probably do like a fashion show, and then when I come out to say, hey, then I do like a show. So like something like that would be That's dream, cool. something new, something that would fulfill both souls, which is music and fashion.
I can definitely dig that. I can definitely dig that. So now, everybody, once we get it, the goal is, how do we give back?
Yes.
How do you give back right now?
Well, I have a lot of just relatives and nieces and nephews and that kind of thing that I wish somebody would have showed me, as an African American male, like you can like be a fashion designer, and I literally do everything from sketch to pattern making.
Oh wow.
To actually
sewing and you do the whole entire garment from start to finish.
Absolutely.
That is impressive.
And I think that, if we can see some of that happen, and somebody can actually see it and touch it, I think that it's more tangible.
Wow.
And just recently we're partnering with another buddy of mine that has another organization that is actually going to be working with foster kids here in the inner cities like Compton and everything like that. Where we'll be collaborating with them, musicians and fashion designers and artists, to kind of bring them and kind of show them that you can be like this and be successful, and you can take your future and your dreams into your own hands and really do it. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So before we go into a quick commercial plug and we bring your best friend on we can get to talking and it's one thing that I always like to be able to leave with is, what is it that you know for sure? What is it that you know for sure?
What I know for sure, that no matter how bad a day you're having, this too shall pass.
Oh, wow.
I always say this
one.
too shall pass. Yeah.
That's a good one.
You might be up against something, but whether you know it or not, you'll get through it, and this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's pass it on over to the next commercial, everybody. Everyone, we just had my good friend Octavius Terry up in here talking about life, the transition from corporate America to actually the entertainment. Everybody, it is always possible. If there is a will, there is a way. Everyone, we are still up here in the house at latalklive.com. That's latalklive.com. This is Real Talk with Brookshire. Remember, you can see all of our archives. You can see all of them right here on latalklive.com. Click on Real Talk with Brookshire, but make sure that you're going to lov923.com. That's lov923.com, and click on Real Talk with Brookshire also. And for all of my people out there that is looking for, again, virtual assistants, again, you don't have to go into this by yourself, people. There are a team of virtual assistants out here. There are companies out here that will be able to help you get all the things that you need to get done. Emails, sending roses to your mama if you need to on Valentine's Day. I'm talking about being able to go shopping for you online. Anything that you need to be able to do that's virtually online that they don't have to physically do, this company will be able to help take care of you. So make sure that you're going to youroffshoreteam.com or go to lov923.com and click on youroffshoreteam.com as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take you to a straight commercial plug real fast, real songy song. We're going to play a little songy song real quick and then we're going to come back with our next little interview before we wrap it on up. We are so live right here on Real Talk with Brookshire. We'll be right back with my co-host Kahana. What? Kahana, how you doing, baby? China Marie. She's in my spirit every time I get here.
I want to be in your spirit.
You're in my spirit, but she used to be my co-host on this show years ago. You taking over, baby. I understand. We'll be right back, everybody.